as Friday is winding down to a close, we're 10 minutes from the bell. I'm thinking about what is it on Monday that we can do to kick off the second week of October with an edge and the ability to find setups that have the chance for the best follow through. Today was an extreme move. Today is one of those days where if you were long, it just kept going. And this is where we can say, thanks market for being really generous. But what do I want to do with a day like today? I'm going to show you a handful of tools that you can put to work on Monday. You don't need anything really from me for two of these tools. And two of these tools are things that I make available in the mastery, and one of them is a premium. So again, I'm going to show you 4 tools in total. 2 of them you can put to use right away, and they're going to make a huge difference. And the other 2, you can put to use as you see fit. Let's get to it. The first thing that I'm talking about is day trading during a very specific window. First hour of the day. I'm not talking about day trading all day. I actually don't find that to be productive. First hour of the day is where I find most of my success. I have shared with everybody my August trades viz of day trading as well as my September. And we're actually starting to get some swings, which I'm really excited about. But let's focus on the day trading here in this update. The idea that I can trade and find really great setups in 65 minutes is very realistic. And what I love also about this is that it also means I am not spending all day looking at 5-minute candle after 5-minute candle. Not only do I find that unrealistic for most people, it's actually going to be diminishing returns. So there are 4 tools here. All right, multi-trend, hourly price movement range, Pingala, and I'm going to put the DPMRs for our swing trading conversation, which we'll do separately. But the 4th tool is a really simple one, and that's the previous session close. So 2 of these tools are available to mastery folks and or subscribers, and 2 of them are free. Let's focus on the free ones here. I don't want anyone thinking that you need to have the premium things to get some of the edges that I'm talking about. All right, let's use the NASDAQ here. Let's use what happened today and talk about, and we'll use a couple different examples. I want everyone to get this. What's the sequence? It's always what's the sequence. At 9:30, the bell rings. At 9:35, I have my first 5-minute candle completed. At that point, let's really zoom in on this 5-minute candle, because this is important for the sake of our conversation. And this is something you can do. No automation at all required. It's really easy. I have automated it, right? Just why not? But here is your 5-minute 9:30 candle. Here is your 5-minute 9:30 range. Okay? Again, can be done perfectly manually. What I'm looking for is what you'll hear me refer to as the Pingala. Pingala really is, for me, some people call it Fibonacci. I call it Pingala because those number sequences of Fibonacci are based on Sanskrit poetry. And so why not, right? And it's fun. Okay, Pingala. This is basically the 50%, but it's really a zone between the 38.2 and the 61.8. You might say, okay, Rod, great. I'm not a human abacus. You don't have to be. Go into your percentage Fibonacci retracement tool, right? There's your candle. Just draw the Fibonacci from the low to the high. Okay? I will never tell you there is some mystical, magical unicorn of an indicator on my chart. I will always give you all some insight into where this is being calculated from. I think that's really important, because understanding and trust comes from, oh, this is what it's automating, right? Looking at time-based highs and lows is a decades-old process that really started on the floor, right? And there's 3 really popular times this is often taken: 5-minute, 30-minute, and 60-minute. Now, most of you probably know my talk about the clearing range 60-minute, and then there's initial balance. But there's also that 5-minute. And that's what this is. And just as I would pull the Pingala on a 30-minute high-low range and a 60-minute high-low range, we're pulling a Pingala on a 5-minute high-low range. Okay? And that's where that zone comes from. You see that? Perfectly outlining the zone. So now you know what you can do at 9:35 to get that zone. And then once you get the zone, if you're not going to automate this or if you're not using my tool, go grab your rectangle tool and put a bar there. I'm showing you exactly how to do this on your own. As long as we're above that, as long as we're generally above that, there's bullishness. When did we get above this thing? We got above this thing, clearly, in this window. Well, what else was happening? So this is the Pingala, right? We just covered what that is and how to calculate it. And that is a very time-tested, time and high-low based process. Okay, look what started happening here. I went from a downtrending market structure to a neutral market structure. Isn't that interesting? Green grab candles became the dominant color of my candles. Here's the second level. These are all free things you can do. Previous session close, right? I am rooting for retail traders to win. These are 2 levels, gang, that I'm telling you will help you win. So if you're looking for more follow through, above the Pingala is going to be great. Above the previous session close, in conjunction with that, Yahtzee. Okay? So those are 2 of the tools. Now, from a premium perspective, right, let's go to another setup. Let's go take a look at, I'm taking a look at the NASDAQ. Let's look at the number 1 weighted stock of the NASDAQ. Okay, let's just move on to that. I'm going to use the automated stuff that I have. So here's my Pingala. All right. Here's my previous session close that I draw in manually every day. I like doing that manually. It gives me a nice feel, nice visceral feel for what's going on the daily, and quite literally takes 2 seconds to draw in. All right. Above the Pingala. So that's a sentiment read. This blue level, here's my Pingala. Previous session close. So there you go. We went from red to neutral, interestingly enough, as we were taking out those 2 levels. I don't think that's a coincidence. We persisted in that. Eventually we went green. But if you want sort of an early warning, an early detection for these shifts that could happen, start with those 2 levels. Then start to add in things like the multi-trend, right? The red to yellow to green tells me downtrend to neutral to uptrend. The hourly price movement ranges automate zones, right? They give me zones of support and resistance to take profit at, or even to enter at, right? But those are 2 things you can do right away on Monday to make a huge difference. Let's do one more example. Let's grab gold. A lot of folks asking about gold, right? Not as clear a crazy trend today, right? Just boom, it wasn't a straight up trend. Let's talk about how much does or does not the market respect this Pingala. Down below it, bounced off the hourly price movement ranges, got to it, right? And then where's my previous session close? Let me show you how easy it is to move that. Let me show you how easy it is. Just have a blue line, right? Grab it. Previous session close, it's not today's close, yesterday's was down in here, right? We were above the previous session close and trying to test it around 9:20. That's before the bell. We did it again around 10 o'clock. Well, all those are fine, but we're still below the Pingala, aren't we? So, okay, this is worth noting. We're testing that previous session close, testing that previous session close. Now we're breaking the Pingala, hit the resistance of the hourly price movement range, came back to the Pingala, and then we started moving higher. Getting above both those things, PSC plus our Pingala, right? And then when you start to add other premium tools like a multi-trend or the hourly price movement ranges, here, right? Now I've got some really good, I can map out this chart, okay? Hope that helps. You can put this to work on Monday. Just those 2 things, gang, are going to make a sea change in terms of directional confidence, directional bias on your day trades.